nasty out this morning. Rainy, cold. Kind of like it. Good day for a hoodie, rain jacket. Takes a little bit getting used to. So this morning, I want to go over a lot of questions I get every time I bring up rentals. And it's awesome because I didn't realize I had so many friends that had interest in income producing real estate. And good morning, Heather. What's up? Mrs. Landis, good morning. Good to see you. And every time I talk about a turnkey rental or owning rental properties, I get a bunch of questions. So I try and make note of that. And then as soon as I'm able, I want to hop back on and do a video that addresses some of those or all of those questions. And there were a lot of questions that I got from people about how to calculate a return and what type of money it takes to purchase what we sell is turnkey rental, and what the anticipated return is, how much money they should make each year, how it impacts their taxes, all that good stuff. So I wanted to address that this morning and talk a little bit about that and give you guys some insight as to how that all works. It's actually, when I say much easier, I mean just that. It's relatively easy. Eric Deckman, how are you? Good morning. Cade Burdette, what's up? Shania, good to see you. And the properties that we sell, when we advertise turnkey rentals, just to I'm struggling this morning. I haven't had my coffee yet. Just to confirm what our turnkey rental is. These are fully renovated. We do 2 full home inspections on each of our turnkey rentals. We do one in the beginning to identify any issues that we weren't able to notice just walking through with the contractor. And then when we're finished the renovations, we do another home inspection to confirm the integrity of the renovations that were done. So we want to make sure that, if we built a deck, that the deck was built correctly, up to code, structurally sound. If we finish the basement, we want to make sure that all the framing work, the drywall work, the electrical work, the install of the furnace, and all that stuff was done with the highest level of integrity. So we have a second home inspection. And then if the buyer wishes to get another home inspection, we invite them to do that as well. So when we sell a property, it's fully renovated, has no less than 2 full home inspections, and has at least 5 years of useful life on the major mechanicals, like the roof and the furnace. If they don't have at least 5 years of useful life, we replace it and it's brand new. So you don't get any better than brand new, right? So the way that we look at the financials on those turnkey rentals, there's 2 key aspects that we look at. It's net cap rate. So you look at the gross rents that you collect. If it's $1,000 a month, you get $12,000 a year in rent. Then you take out taxes and insurance, and you're net with net operating income. We also take out 5% maintenance reserve, 5% vacancy reserve, and then you're left with net operating income. That percentage is 8% or higher of the total sales price. So if you bought a $100,000 house, your net operating income before debt, which means if you got a mortgage on it, should be over $8,000. So when we sell our properties, good morning, Todd. Thanks for checking in, man. I appreciate the support. So $8,000 would be the net operating income or higher on a $100,000 turnkey rental that you buy from us. Then what we calculate, which for me is the most important thing, is cash on cash return. So the 8% is cool because it gives you a rule of thumb on, what the operating income is relation to the gross sales price. But what I look at is what's my actual investment. And when you're financing these deals, your cash down, your closing cost is your actual cash investment. And then we're looking for between about 12 to 15% cash on cash return. So to put that into perspective, if you put $20,000 down, a 15% return would be $3,000 a year in net income. So for every $20,000 you invest on an annual basis, you're going to get $23,000 back. Pretty crazy return if you think about, other places that you could put $20,000 that are, low risk, appreciating assets. It doesn't even really exist unless maybe you're buying into a larger piece of real estate. There's a group maybe that's buying a big hotel or a multi-unit. But for a smaller investor or someone that's just getting started, to be able to buy and start a rental portfolio with $20,000 is pretty extraordinary. So those of you that are thinking about investing in real estate and flipping's not for you, apartment buildings are intimidating. They are for me. It's too big of a project for me to get involved in. And frankly, I'm just not sure that I fully understand it. But owning a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, $100,000 property that's been fully renovated that generates, $1,000 to $1,200 a month in rent is a very reasonable, responsible, conservative yet profitable way to get started in real estate. And then if you look at the tax repercussions that you have, that net income at the end of the year, you're only going to pay on a fraction of that when it comes to net taxable income. So it takes about $20,000 down to get started to buy a $100,000 income producing property. Normally this is going to be a townhome or a small detached property in a decent neighborhood that rents for $1,100 to $1,500 a month. And it's going to be professionally managed. So you don't have to handle the property management. You're not collecting rents. You're not dealing with maintenance calls. You're not finding tenants. You're not dealing with evictions. That's 100% handled by the property management company that we've partnered with that handles any and all property management related issues. And you're going to make between an 11 to 15% cash on cash return. So if you were to invest $100,000 over the course of a year, you're going to make $15,000 a year in income. You're going to be taxed on probably, I'm not an accountant, I'm not an attorney, but in my experience, you're only going to be taxed on about $5,000 of that. And then there's all types of depreciation and, other tax benefits that would lower your taxable income even more. So if you're looking to get started, give us a call. I mean, you don't have to have, $200,000 to buy a rental property. You don't have to have a ton of free time. You don't have to have, all this experience. We'll typically have you come in and sit down and we'll walk you through what we call like a consultation for an investor. And we walk you through what it's like to purchase one of these properties, what it's like to own it. We'll talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, the great. And if it's for you, then, then we'll take you out and you'll see 2, 3, 4, 5 of the properties that we have available. And if you want to buy one, we'll, get you connected with one of our local lenders that specialize in investment loans. The interest rates are very competitive. They're going to be, comparable to what you'll see on the open market. These loans are being done through typical, mortgage companies. We deal with Movement Mortgage, York Traditions Bank, People's Bank, Members First. You'll deal with the same mortgage companies that you would if you were buying your own personal residence. So don't think that you need a ton of money to get started. I mean, literally as much as $15,000 to $20,000 can get you started in owning your first rental, and you're not buying a $15,000 to $20,000 property. You're going to own about a $90,000 to $100,000 piece of real estate. So, when that property's paid off 25 or 30 years from now, you're going to have a property that's worth $100,000 to $115,000, $120,000, $130,000, depending on, what appreciation looks like and how much it goes up in value. So if you accumulate, 10 of those, 25 years from now, 30 years from now, you'll have over $1 million in paid off assets that you can sell, collect the rent off of and live off of, refinance and cash out $750,000. There's a number of different ways that you can use. Sorry, I had an incoming phone call. There's got to be a way to turn that off so it doesn't cut in on my videos. But anyway, that's what it takes to buy a rental. If you have any questions about it, by all means, shoot me a message. Happy to spend some time and just chat with you. We can certainly set you up with Liz or Julie or Justin or Chris or Anthony, one of our in-house, investment specialists that know the ins and outs of rental properties, the ins and outs of buying one of those properties, and we can connect you with a lender that can walk you through what it would take for you to get an investment loan. So anyway, happy Monday, everybody. Mondays are always crazy for me. Tune in tonight at 7 p.m. about 7. Keith, good morning. 7 to 7:15. I'll be with Dew Jones from Sports Shooting Stars. We're going to kind of do a recap of the first 9 weeks of the high school football season. We're going to take a peek at what each of the local teams are looking at in terms of division championships, county championships, and then some of these teams are fortunate enough that they're going to move on to the next level and play in districts. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Hopefully we'll spend a little bit of extra time on York Suburban, my son Camden's team. They're 9-0. Might be I think they're the only undefeated team in York County, not to jinx them. And we have a home game senior night this Friday against Susquehannock. Camden looks like he'll get his second start of the year. He had a big game last Friday, had I think 4 touchdowns and played really well. So excited to watch him finish out the season at home. Good morning, Kerry. Look at you. He's back on his thing. Good to see you, my man. You have no idea how much that brightens my day just to see you running your little fingers through Facebook. I'm sure you're sitting at the hospital going crazy looking for something to do. But it's great to see you, my friend. And I'm excited that you're on the road to recovery. Things are going well. And just in talking with you and stuff, man, it's awesome just to hear how good your spirits are. Very commendable how you approach this whole situation, and just how inspiring the whole situation has been, man. I'm thinking of you every day. And can't wait to see you back up on your feet and doing your thing again, man. It'll be a happy day when I see you working the sidelines of a basketball game again. I'd love to be by your side doing that when that takes place. So anyway, that's Turnkey Rentals. If you want to get started, just give us a call. You can buy a turnkey rental fully renovated with as little as $15,000 down. And you're going to make anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000 net income per year on a $15,000 down payment. That's a pretty, particularly when you talk about what they call, residual income, where you're not actively earning that money. You're not out, doing work to earn that money. This rental property and turnkey rentals are designed for you to be able to earn an income and a return on your investment without being active. So hope that's helpful. Again, there was a lot of questions that I was getting each time I do a video about turnkey rentals or rental properties or getting started in real estate. I was getting about a half a dozen questions at least every time. So I hope that information was helpful. You guys have a great Monday, and I'm sure I'll see you soon.